Welcome back. This is video 8. Narcissistic abuse is worse than you think. So you found this person who's not just great but amazing. Everything was magical, the relationship was perfect. Yes, you hit a few minor bumps that seemed like they could have been red flags. But you thought to yourself that everyone has a bad day and they would never intend on hurting you. Besides, they apologised, except lately you're the one doing all of the apologising. You don't always know what you did wrong, but it's easier that way. They tell you that you trigger their moodiness, although they won't tell you exactly what you did or why it upset them so much. In fact, there's a lot that they're secretive about. The next thing you know, things escalate. They get furious for what seems like no reason, and you break up. You beg for them to take you back, or maybe they beg you. You get back together, and the whole thing starts over again. You were dealing with an emotional parasite, the type of person who took advantage of your kindness and in the worst of ways tried to capitalize off of them. Deep down you know they are wrong for you, but you can't help but feel the need to stand by a person who has already been through so much. The truth is, none of it was your fault, because narcissists are the ultimate emotional predators. You've probably heard of narcissistic personality disorder, but someone doesn't have to be a full-blown case of NPD to have enough narcissistic traits to make them dangerous to get involved with. It may seem like you didn't get involved with them at all, but rather they got involved with you. One day you were flirting with this person you thought seemed great. The next thing you knew, you were in an instantly intense and committed relationship, and you can't even remember exactly how that happened. This is because narcissists are masters of survival. It's as though they have a sixth sense for identifying the people most likely to fall for their charismatic persona. Someone who will stick around and take care of them even after they reveal their repulsive inner selves. That's where knowing how to deal with a narcissist will aid you in removing them from your life. In a relationship where a narcissist is involved, it starts with a hook, a dream, often one you think is about you, but that, for the narcissist, is all about control. Sometimes the narcissist will come across as helpful. Then, when things don't work out, the tables will get turned on you. Once you've caught on, or tried to get them to take accountability, the tension only escalates. For a time, the relationship seems like a match made in heaven, but in reality, it's a fast track to hell. In the early stages of the relationship, the kindness and generosity of the caretaker is expressed. The giver, you, has someone to dote on, and being the centre of the universe works out well for the selfish needs of an emotional vampire. Yet as the relationship becomes more intimate, the narcissist absorbs the person's time, energy and resources, whilst at the same time gaining control. Most people who the narcissist targets are of a compassionate, empathic disposition. Narcissists have a reason for everything that happens in their life, and nothing is ever their fault. Of course, you listen and want to help, but if you catch yourself saying, "I was just trying to be nice," more and more often, and if a part of you feels used, chances are there is an unhealthy dynamic at play. You may have grown up in a dysfunctional family environment, and your past can make it difficult to spotting boundary violations when they happen, which might lead to you ignoring your gut instinct when someone violates your trust. Narcissists don't like boundaries. If a person has an inability to set them and keep them, these predator types will sense the weakness and will use it to their advantage. Sometimes narcissists will perform hero-like acts, but rather than encourage independence or empowerment in their partner, they use their help as a way to create dependency. You are at risk if you feel lonely and a desperate need to find love. Find a need, fill a need is the narcissist mantra. A person who has low self-esteem is easier to control than someone with a high sense of self-confidence. At first, the intensity feels good because it can be confused with passion, but the narcissist is incapable of honesty or openness. Slowly, the intensity wanes, and a cold, calculated character leaves you wondering what went wrong and striving to find the loving person you thought you once knew. As the relationship deteriorates, narcissists will use guilt and blame to prove that it's you who are the problem. Empathic and sensitive individuals are extremely vulnerable to the blame game because of their reflective nature. The narcissist will say, "If you hadn't done this or that, I wouldn't have got so angry." By redirecting your attention to what they did wrong, the narcissist diverts attention away from their own unhealthy behavior. Narcissists feed off fear. They use it to create smokescreens and mirrors. Non-confrontational people often are afraid of abandonment, guilt, or anything that may lead to the loss of an important relationship. When narcissists react violently, they trigger these fears in those who will bend over backwards to keep things calm and peaceful. The more you avoid conflict, the more attractive you become to a narcissist. But you don't have to be a victim ever again. Build on what you've learned from your experience and empower your intuition so that in future you'll know how to avoid another narcissist if they target you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Speak to you again soon.